Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 210. Tonight we're reviewing Glass. Walking on broken glass. That would have been a great credit song.
Oh, it would have been great. Annie Lennox deserves all the money in the world. That would have been good.
Poignant, too.
Yeah, you just gotta keep on walking on his broken glass because he left a mess for you, Sarah Paulson. Spoiler alert.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Missed opportunities.
Yeah. Instead of the Philip Glass Nightmare music that was playing. Oh my god. It's really, I hate it.
I wish that you would come to see Akhenaten, the Philip Glass opera about...
Oh, I would have walked out.
I
would have had to have left.
You would have hated it. I mean, there's literally this fabulous number. Like, the production was amazing, and because it's like this.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, this is one of our Phoebes.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah, first things first. Look at you doing that. Shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Trywink.com/moviebitches. You get $22 off your first month of wine.
You didn't do any of the gestures.
No.
So the Philip Glass opera.
Oh yeah, so Akhenaten was an Egyptian pharaoh. Mm. He was very young, and...
You need to unlock your iPhone first.
Why did I think I said Siri?
It's Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
Akhenaten. What's a pharaoh?
So he's usually played by like a countertenor, but he has like a love story with this other woman. It's very like androgynous. It's pretty great. He's naked at one point. Anyway, so he's in this like bright red gown.
Okay.
With an 80-foot long train.
Oh, so it's very Dracula. It's
a little
very
bit.
Coppola's Dracula.
It's like, but she's also in this same gown, and they start at opposite ends of the stage, and then they just sing this song, but the song is mostly just ha ha ha
ha. A nightmare.
And it's just like over like for like 15 minutes.
I hate
but it was so stunning because it's just like the stark red of them both.
Are you saying that their gowns were connected?
No.
Eventually?
I mean, kind of.
I would have been excited if it was like, and then they passed, and then, oh, it's a knot of their love. Yes, it turns into a knot.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a living nightmare.
It was so fabulous.
That does not sound like something I would enjoy.
No, not you.
Oh, no.
Not for you.
It's not for me, no.
No.
But anyway.
So, Glass.
Glass, right, which we...
Not Philip Glass.
Not Philip Glass. Which we agreed to see because of James McAvoy.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he was playing 23 different characters. I was like, oh, this is going to be a campy mess.
Yep.
Turns out, I mean, I have pretty much the same feelings I did about Glass as I did about Split. James McAvoy's the best part.
Absolutely.
Split was a better movie.
It was a better movie. Glass was a little too pretentious.
I just really thought it was gonna be more of a thriller, action-y situation. And it was like, oh, you weren't expecting One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Sorry. This is just One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with superheroes. And Sarah Paulson's Nurse Ratched? And you're like, I think I hate her. Do I? Yeah. I don't like movies where people are trying to convince people they're crazy.
Right.
Because that's a nightmare of mine.
I'm not crazy. No. Echo.
So yeah.
Well, so then this is not the movie for you.
No, I was just like frustrated the whole time. We have all these interesting characters that are just like locked up after the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're just in a mental institution for the next 2 hours, essentially.
Well, so let's roll back tape.
Right.
So,
sorry.
Glass, the M. Night Shyamalan. I like how they're really taking his name away from things, right? It doesn't have the weight that it used to. People have been burned too many times. They're like it used to be like M. Night Shyamalan. Split, and now it's just like M. Night Shyamalan.
Glass.
You know, they're like, shh, don't tell them. Don't tell people that it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. They won't want to see it.
Or if they're into it, they'll notice.
Exactly.
And then they'll go
know.
for him.
Yeah.
People do keep giving him money.
Oh, they do.
And actors do keep agreeing to be in his films.
Yep.
He made some sort of deal. He's some Faustian figure or something. But, like, his punishment is you will make an amazingly perfect movie in The Sixth Sense. You will make one of the best movies ever. And then it's
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, what? Oh, well, no wonder. It's genuinely a really, really good movie, right?
So I've heard, yeah.
You'll make the best, like your masterpiece, your opus, and the cross you have to bear is that you will just continually have a downward spiral where people hate you. And then, like, but you'll have just enough success that they'll keep giving you money to then fail again. I think that's something happens. I don't know what it is. But anyway, Glass.
Yeah.
I mean, it was boring.
It was boring. So Glass is the apparently third in a...
It's a trilogy.
Yeah.
Unbreakable came out 19 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw it so long ago, I don't really remember it. I got nothing. I mean, I remember that Bruce Willis is unbreakable, and then...
he's on a train, and the train derails, and everyone dies
except for him, and so he realizes he's invincible, and then Sam Jackson, shows up to be his supervillain at the end.
He had derailed the train.
Yes, but like at the end of the movie, he's like, "Ha ha! Didn't you know? Every superhero needs a supervillain." He like shows up in monologues.
Got you.
They called me Mr. Glass.
This was already a thing.
Oh yeah, no, apparently, because I was like, I mean, M. Night, you're really grasping at straws here, making this a sequel. But apparently, it really did connect. Like, Bruce Willis did run into a child in the original movie and feel him and feel the abuse, and it was Kevin Wendell.
Was Kevin there? Well, I guess he was there to wave goodbye.
Bye, Dad, on the train.
Oh.
So, like, it was all set up.
Wow.
But he couldn't figure out how to connect it all then, and waited 19 years to connect it in the last 5 minutes of Split. And then to make a third film.
Yes, right.
To connect it all.
Yes.
People were trying to tell me that Unbreakable was what like started the superhero movement of movies, and I was like, I mean,
that's patently false.
Let's calm down. I mean, I don't think that's true.
Maybe the resurgence of the Marvel.
I was just like, I don't think it was that popular, guys, to like have But it was interesting, like, so this is like M. Night's response in a way.
A little bit.
And I'm kind of here for that angle.
Absolutely.
The movie was boring, but James McAvoy's great.
James McAvoy is amazing. We will talk about him at length.
Oh, at length. It's pretty much the only thing I want to talk about, other than Sarah Paulson's Lavender Room.
Oh my god. I think the thing that bugged me the most about the movie was just how constantly it was talking about comic books.
It's a hard tone.
Navel-gazing.
It's a hard tone to be like, it's an origin story. Let's talk comics. And you're like, but he just ate someone's face. I don't know if we can come back from that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a weird tone where he'll be like, let's talk about superhero nerd stuff. And then, he's like pummeling police officers. And you're like,
Well, I just, like, it was like, let's talk about, like, script structure, heroes and villains.
Right.
And like literally at one point Sam Jackson is like, well, you have the anti-hero, or maybe it was Sarah Paulson is like, you have like the anti-hero.
The anarchist, the hero, and whatever.
Doesn't this all sound familiar to you? And it's like, yeah. So you're telling me you're writing this trite. You yourself are telling me that you're writing, like...
Well, and then it's like, well, comic books are just stealing from, like, classic heroes.
Of course.
So it's just like, wait, what's happening? Because then later, I mean... Spoilers all around the place. Who cares? I guessed it all. But Sarah Paulson's evil.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes in, I was like, well, so she's evil. And then we have to wait 2 hours for her to be revealed to be evil. And I was like, I'm cool.
Yeah. The pacing of this film was its biggest flaw.
Yeah, well, there was no forward momentum. Split. Oh no, he's kidnapped these girls. They're trying to escape. We're with them.
We don't know what's going on. Or whatever.
We're seeing all these personalities. Oh, what's this one? Oh, that's creepy. You're getting to know him.
It has paprika.
It's got paprika in it.
Which was a real missed opportunity in this movie.
I
PB&J.
I did
Talk
like-
about that paprika.
But I did like the PB&J.
I mean, he really is.
You do.
Yeah, you want the PB&J, don't you? Yes. I mean, I love Patricia. But in Glass, it's just like they're all in this mental institution. And
Yeah.
Sarah Paulson's going to psychoanalyze them.
Yep.
And they're just kind of stuck there being like not... There's no like, oh no, someone's in danger. Or oh, no, there's
Yeah.
no like tense...
Well, and what was really frustrating for me was that it's her trying to treat them by convincing them that they are not, in fact, super. They are not
Right.
superhuman.
Right.
And what's frustrating about that is that we all have already seen them literally be superhuman.
Right. You're not going to convince us.
We've seen enough that it wasn't believable. I was like, well, this is clearly just you fucking with them. So why are we still talking about this?
I did like that, like, basically the plot is there's too many fucking superhero movies. Like, essentially, Sarah Paulson is coming from a, like, haven't we had enough? There's too many. They're too long. It's too much. Let's all just decide, like, let's rate it back. You're not a superhero.
No, you're convincing people that they
It's
could be
fine.
super and it's not a thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's true. But that did make me laugh.
Yes.
But apparently he's been planning it for 19 years, so...
There you go. That's crazy.
I'm still I'm not quite a true believer.
I mean, he might have just been able to find ways to make it all work. Like, you can write it
I think
in.
he, like, cobbled it together.
Yeah.
Like, well...
But I love that.
Yeah.
I'm on board for that. What if you were to do that with, like, other... Like, what if we went back to, like, Sleepless in Seattle and it was, like, right in this whole other, like, subplot of, like, oh, well, the girl that he saw on
Rosie
the beach...
O'Donnell then joined a baseball team. Different eras. Rosie O'Donnell became a cop and went undercover on a stakeout. No, I like it.
Right?
It's fun.
I think that's a fun game to be like, oh, and then...
What's going on with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, who's that little character that now we can write an entire subplot about as a different movie?
Sure.
About weird superheroes or DID.
Right. Again, its treatment of mental health issues is confusing.
Yes.
It's sort of like, well, if you've been abused, you could be a superhero too. I mean, it really doubled down on that,
It
Like,
did.
you need to have a lot of trauma,
Yeah.
then you could be a superhero.
Yeah, there's like a triggering traumatic event
Right.
for each of them.
Yeah. But anyway, Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
It was fun to see Bruce Willis.
Sure.
It seems like his plastic surgery has calmed down, which was exciting.
Yeah.
He looked like a person.
He did. He looked like Bruce Willis, to be honest.
I was like, hey, Bruce Willis, you're looking good. I thought he's looked very sad and smooth for a while. And now he looks sad and grizzled. And I think it looks better. I love Bruce Willis. He wasn't quite phoning it in as much as he has been.
No.
But he also didn't have a ton to do.
No,
in
he
this
didn't.
movie.
No,
was
he
just
didn't.
Sort of there.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like Sarah Paulson really kind of carried the weight of the movie.
I mean,
obviously,
James McAvoy.
of course.
I mean, can we just talk about James
Yeah,
McAvoy?
we have to, please.
I mean, it's the best part.
He's the best part of the movie.
It's the best part of the movie. I said in the theater, I was like, oh, it's weird because James McAvoy is like starring in Richard III on like the Broadway stage, being amazing.
Or like Shakespeare in the Park, in the Globe Theater.
Yeah,
Like,
like he's doing it all, and everyone else is in like a weird M. Night Shyamalan movie, for lack of a better genre. And so you're like, yes, James McAvoy. Oh, what? What's happening? What's going on?
Can we get back to him?
More James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Like, just give me an hour of James McAvoy in his cell with the flashy hypnosis light that switches his personality. It's cool. I'm cool.
I'm cool.
My name is Patricia.
I'm Mary Reynolds. Por favor, senora.
We almost got you, bro.
The beast is coming any minute now for you guys.
Also, James McAvoy can get it.
Oh, 100%.
Right? He's like ripped. I mean, obviously he goes into like beast mode and that was silly, but like
literally though, guys, he goes into these. He was doing so much.
He was.
Can you imagine someone else in this part and how hilarious it would be?
It would be such a disaster.
Like, I'm sitting here like, okay, he goes full beast mode at least 7 times.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like has to like fully transform. Jungle Cat runs across a field.
Yeah.
And I wasn't laughing hysterically.
No.
I was like, Yes, James McAvoy, you tell me your story.
I was the saddest when he, spoiler alert, died. He was betrayed.
He was betrayed. He was the best. I mean, obviously, he was just the best. But there was less fun in this one.
Yes.
Like, of his personalities. Like, I mean, I did love at one point, I think my favorite of his new personalities was the film professor who specializes in Japanese cinema. 1950s and the 1980s. And I was just like,
Yeah. Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Love it.
Let's talk about Uzo. Yeah, let's do it. So I wish there had been more like of a playfulness.
Yes.
Where the other one, like that light in the movie, like Split was like a heavy movie where like, fuck, he's like kidnapping these girls or whatever. But then like, you know, Hedwig would show up and dance and you'd be like,
Yeah, there was a little bit less of that joy, I guess.
Yeah.
Although there were moments, I mean, they did have fun with it. I mean, especially when the lights were like changing or whatever.
Yes.
And it was like, now this one, now this one, now this one. I mean, he's just spectacular.
It's amazing because having seen these two movies, it's not like they have to keep being like, oh, you're Kevin.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're, you know, Patricia. Oh, you're like, oh, I already know. And it's not even when he speaks necessarily, it's the face. I mean, it's amazing.
And the posture and whatever. It'd be like, and then I was like, oh, Patricia's here.
Oh, Patricia.
It's crazy.
I can just feel the pearls on her neck even though she's not wearing them. And they didn't have fun with, so like at a certain point, the nurses bring him a bunch of clothes. They're like, oh, we told him to bring a lot of options.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be fun because he's going to keep dressing up and like playing with the nurses and like fucking with them. And there was a little bit of that.
A little bit of that.
Which I loved.
Oh my God.
When he turns into Jade.
Yeah.
Oh. Can you get my insulin needle?
I dropped it.
Just a little too close to the light.
Yeah.
You know, like this tied up little shirt, like flirty flirt. Like she turned into John Leguizamo and Tu Wong Fu or something. Like, like, oh.
Stand up real slow so
Just
I can
real
get a
slow
good
so I
look.
can get a good look at you. All of that was so fun, and then the rest of the movie was so dour. I don't know, I just thought this was like slow and depressing, and James McAvoy is, I mean, he should be nominated for an Oscar for this.
Honestly
100%.
though.
Like, I'm not being hyperbolic at all.
I think this is the most amazing acting I have seen in an incredibly long time.
He's amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, I found the movie pretty boring, and I was kind of super over it. And then by the end, I came around a little.
Sam Jackson doesn't speak. He's catatonic for the first hour of the movie, and him and Bruce Willis don't really interact because they're so fun together.
Right.
I was having some serious like Die Hard with a Vengeance flashbacks, and I was like, yeah. Oh, but
they're not doing anything.
Bruce Willis is sad, and he's catatonic. And then James McAvoy is doing, 800 characters. And he was like, this is a lot. I don't know. So I wanted more of the mastermind. More of like, oh, and it was this, but it was this. And
Yeah.
And like, Bruce Willis had nothing to do.
Oh, no. I mean, Bruce Willis literally did nothing once they got into the hospital.
We haven't really talked about his son.
Do we care? I mean, I guess it's the origin story of all of the other who are going to come out of the woodwork.
And now the X-Men. It's like prequel to the X-Men.
Yes, basically.
Everyone's going to come out of the closet.
Yeah.
I'm a superhero, you know. So they showed the flashback from Unbreakable back to back with the actor, and I was like, is that the same fucking actor? That seems like an M. Night Shyamalan thing to do. It was.
M. Night Shyamalan. Boy.
Oh boy. We get the prerequisite terrible cameo from M. Night who just cannot act. Cannot, for the life of him, act. And he always leaves his cameo in, and it's always terrible.
What was the point of it?
There is never a point to his cameos except to go, oh, here's the cameo where he can't act and it's terrible and you really should have edited it out. Every single time, I swear to God. Just big eyes. Oh, acting is reacting. Every time. I felt like I really got dropped into the middle. The movie started and I was like, oh no. I feel like I should have watched Unbreakable and Split right before having seen this movie because I definitely don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it turned out to be fine, but like...
It was fine, but like there was like a good 10 to 15 minutes in the beginning where I was like, oh no, I mean, I've seen the movie and I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Sam Jackson's Prince outfit?
Oh my God, right? Where did he get the MG pin?
I think there's probably a lot of Easter eggs from the original movie that I didn't, you know, I'm sure someone
That's true.
already was like, oh,
Sure.
and that's from that, and that's from
Yeah,
that, because that's
yeah.
an M. Night thing to do.
Sure.
There was a lot of talk about his poncho. And I didn't
Oh.
remember that being particularly significant
I don't know.
in Unbreakable, but maybe I've forgotten.
I didn't care.
Like, Sam Jackson was like, you know what you were going to wear to the showdown.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The poncho.
his poncho?
I thought that was just because it was raining.
I thought it was just because he wanted to conceal his identity. But
Well,
like,
sure.
if he's going to have to be...
If he's gonna be like, here I am, haha, then why?
I was kind of really excited that it's building up and Sam Jackson's like mind fucking James McAvoy. He's like controlling James McAvoy, like, oh, I'm gonna, you know.
Yes.
Like,
this is what you should be doing, and
yeah,
blah,
like,
blah, blah.
ooh,
We're
let's
gonna...
be my apprentice, and like,
Yeah.
you know, and we're gonna attack this building, the tallest building in Philadelphia is opening up. There's gonna be a big showdown, and we gotta get Bruce Willis there, and we're gonna fight. There's gonna be people, or I'm gonna explode them because there's a chemical plant that's on 3 floors with a lot of explanation. And I was like, ugh. I am not looking forward to the big showdown at the. Oh, great! It didn't happen.
That was when I was.
Fake out!
I was just. That was where I was like, ugh, I'm so bored. He's already told us the plan. I just want this to be over. This is so stupid, especially because it was so like.
I mean, again, I think it was meta making fun of superhero movies.
Sure.
And there'll be the big showdown with all the people. And,
Right. Well, but also like too, I
And
think
comic
all
books,
of the
obviously.
like exposition of like Bruce Willis comes into the house and on the radio is the
the building is coming in.
yeah.
And Sarah Paulson gets in, and there's clearly a murdered nurse, and she's like, oh, let me unmute the TV and just check up on this, even though I could just read the ticker tape.
Check it out.
Thousands of people
are
will be in this building.
They can't wait to see it. And I'm like, it's not under wraps, you guys. It's a fucking building that's sitting there. Like, you can see it.
What is this, 1910?
I was so
I gotta
weird.
go see the new building.
Right?
I was like, I don't know.
It was weird.
But like, it's already built enough that there's like a laboratory with chemicals.
Why would there be a chemical lab in a skyscraper in the middle of downtown? It seemed very strange. All of it seemed strange. Maybe there wasn't a chemical lab. Maybe that was all his bullshit
No,
just
but
to
then
like
Sarah
get
Paulson
her.
was like, oh, there's a chemical. She
didn't know.
She ate his bullshit. But anyway.
But either way,
luckily enough for us, apparently they could only afford one set, and they just kept staying at this hospital, and then they fought in the front yard.
Well, I think it turned out that was not the real plan all along, right?
Absolutely.
But
it did seem weird that for this like big movie, like
I wish that it was
90%
more
of it
subtle
was-
about it. You know, like I think it would have been a little bit more of a payoff.
Oh yeah, I mean this movie could have been much better.
Yeah.
I think the bottom line of that is. Like, we never saw any other patients. This building
No.
is weird. There's
Yes.
seemingly one nurse that works there, and they just trade off 12-hour shifts. And then when, like, people are
What was
escaping,
that?
security guards seemingly are like, whatever. It's
There was
cool.
security guards.
But, like, that's what I mean. There was nobody there, and so it was just this really weird building. So you were like, well, obviously this is bullshit. Like, Sarah Paulson's making this up, but then why are they at this hospital? It was just, like, a lot of, like, red tape paperwork at this hospital, kind of like what's happening. Sarah Paulson in some ways reminded me of Michael from The Good Place. Like, I'm evil, right? But like I'm trying to do it the humane way.
Yeah.
Let's try a different way of, instead of just killing these superheroes, let's convince them they're not superheroes. You know, it was like this roundabout.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
it was also very eerily similar to the plot of this season of The Magicians, where they're all in a comic book. And it's all, like, true. Like, what's happening to them is written in this mysterious comic book. And then you should watch The Magicians.
So it's Once Upon a
great.
Time.
I don't know, is that what's happening in Once Upon a Time?
There's like a magic book. Like it's like there's a storybook, and then what's written in the book comes true. Or
Well, there you go.
vice versa. It's like a whole...
So are you recommending Once Upon a Time?
I loved that show.
Save yourself!
Pinocchio!
Pinocchio! I really like The Magicians. It's a really good show.
Cool.
You wouldn't like it.
Oh, great.
But I really do like it. It figured out its weird tone. It started as one thing, and it veered away to a weirder, better place. Glass.
Yeah, I'm done with Glass.
I'm pretty cool. James McAvoy can get it. Sarah Paulson's great.
Yep.
In all of her mauve.
Oh my god, and her sweaters and like,
tones,
yeah.
her like lavenders and
beiges and taupes
light
and
taupes and earthy pinks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it ends and it's like, oh, if you just believe in yourself, you can be a superhero.
Oh, is it? Is that what the message was? I thought it was like, if you're super, believe in yourself. Not like, if you believe in yourself, you will become super. But maybe
the message is muddied.
Yeah.
I mean, it ends with this ragtag, dear doe-eyed girl from Split, Bruce Willis's son, and Sam Jackson's mom, who is, in fact...
Younger than him
in real life. Hollywood's great. But this ragtag group of, and they send out a video. I mean, it's very much The Happening, like, oh, did you see this crazy video of people going crazy?
Yeah.
And, you believe in yourself and you could be a superhero. I don't know. And,
I don't either.
And Sarah Paulson's part of a elite.
Clover. They all have Clover tattoos.
Now is it going to connect to the Cloverfield universe? Because then we've really gone off the rails. So, don't watch it.
You could watch it for James McAvoy. Maybe you could like rent it and just only find the scenes that he's in. But
I think that's a great idea. Just do like a scene studies of James McAvoy as Sybil. It's pretty great.
It really is amazing. He is amazing.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
And he got ripped.
And he's sexy. Like, wow.
Like, wow. And his accent works.
I mean, it's like, I think this must be how most people feel about like rock stars, where it's like, oh my god, that guitar player. This was me. It was like, oh, you just got 10 times sexier.
Because of his accent?
Just
his
all of it.
All of it. The whole package.
Yeah. Oh my god, imagine the role play you could do. Ooh, James, let's do the Doctor tonight. No, just kidding. Let's do like you could literally choose anything. Do the Australian Surfer.
Just give me accents.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, I guess it's bad when the only person you care about and are rooting for, just ate a police officer's face. Right? It's like, it's tough.
He literally did that and I didn't care. I was like, I just care about James McAvoy.
Oh, James McAvoy.
Kevin.
Hedwig.
Kevin!
You can't not do it.
Ooh, I would have liked that.
What?
You could do that tie-in where like that was actually the mom.
Catherine O'Hara was the abusive mom, and now Kevin McAllister has DID.
She left him.
She left him alone, and now he has DID.
All of it comes together. I don't know.
I mean, he gets all his accent work from Catherine O'Hara.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
Is he becoming the new Michael Fassbender?
I mean,
He's making better acting choices.
Exactly.
Like, Michael Fassbender is, I feel, actively trying to kamikaze his career.
Yes.
It seems like it.
Snowman.
That's all I'll say.
Light Between Oceans.
Assassin's Creed. It seems like he's actively picking terrible films to be in.
Yeah. I mean, James McAvoy, granted, this is not a great film to be in.
No, but he's so elevated.
Yes,
and
exactly.
this is so much better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Than Snowman? Yeah.
Well, that was just a failure. Just a failure.
Then the Great Hairy Hole, April? I think the key here is that it's not an either or.
No.
It's an and.
Yes.
Michael Fassbender
and
James McAvoy.
And then they'll both be in the new X-Men movie and we can ogle them some more.
Yeah. Love it.
And Michael Fassbender will be great in the X-Men movies because he always is.
It's true.
Apparently, he was saying that in some ways, he based Hedwig on his memory of Saoirse Ronan in Atonement. Like, of her as 10-year-old, whatever, crazy,
interesting
actress girl. Not crazy, but,
Huh.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. God, I haven't watched The Atonement since it came out.
I loved it.
I did too.
But I'm worried.
Me too.
So.
I remember loving, particularly the look more than anything,
I remember loving the first half and then being mad.
Yeah. Yes.
And then being, upset.
Yes.
Being like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, who cares was how I felt about it.
Absolutely.
Except for James McAvoy.
Oh, I mean, it's worth it for his performance.
I honestly think it was.
Yeah.
It's boring. You could definitely rent it for James McAvoy.
Yeah, I wouldn't really pay money. I don't know if you can even see it in the theater anymore. We had to drive literal
a
dozens of miles
distance. Yes.
to find it. But you could watch it on Netflix or whatever. I would Redbox $1 for James McAvoy.
Yes, for his muscles alone. And
oh my God.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Worth it.
Cheers to James McAvoy.
But it's a bad movie.
Oh yeah, no.
You're fine.
Yeah.